YouTube, what is up? So hopefully by now you guys have probably seen some of the other stuff I've done. Still getting the finishing touches on the cage, but seats. I got some seats finally. Everybody knows how much I love Polaris stock seats. So yeah, here they are. I decided to go with the PRP GT SE seats. A couple different reasons why I went. There's honestly a lot of good seats. I kept looking at all these different seats at Corbeau, Simpson, PRP. Honestly, I like them all. Any Pro Armor, they all would have been a great seat. I was able just to pretty much, I've always liked PRP. I'm going to be honest, I've always liked PRP. I just think they're great looking seats, and I wanted a suspension seat. And I know that they fit pretty good in the Rzr. So the other thing is like, I don't have a ton of time, so I had to find something that I could kind of, I didn't like customize this or anything. I found kind of like just, they had a bunch of different colors that were just like ready for a Rzr, and I found a pretty good hookup, so I went with these GTs. I just went with their black and blue. Thought it'd be fun. Oh, and I got the blue PRP harnesses, which I'm stoked on. I actually had some other Click 6 Polaris harnesses that I was pretty excited about, but they're not SFI rated, and if I'm gonna race, I've got to have it SFI rated. So this is an SFI 16 or something, so it's good for like 2 years for racing. So I decided to go with the PRPs. Anyway, it's pretty cool. What do you guys think about the black and blue? I think it's gonna be sick. I think I'm gonna kind of do like a red, black, and blue theme. We'll see how it all goes together here. But anyways, a couple problems though. With the CageWorks cage, which I'm stoked on, it's come together real good. Waiting for a couple other things to weld up on it, and I'll have that finished too. But one problem is, like, this corner is about the same height as a Rzr cage, but the back corner is actually lowered. The Rzr cage kind of had more of an angle going up and gave you a little more headroom. I'm 6'3", so I am a big dude. So putting the suspension, even the stock seat actually, didn't matter if it was the suspension or the stock seat, it was too high. My head was getting really close to these support bars, and it's just not good. So the PRPs, I'll pull them out and show you what I did, but I actually ended up trying to lower the seat. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's not a ton lower, but I've probably got about 1 inch lower, and I've got the driver pushed back further. Anyways, it's hard to see, but the driver is lower and pushed back further, and it's actually working now. Just that inch has made a big difference. It's got the bottom of that seat back down and further back, so it's going to be sweet. I think it's just barely enough room. I think it's going to work for me. But yeah, I never thought that the new cage would be like I'd have a hard time fitting. The Rzr cabin is like a really cool cabin, but it's tighter. It's small. It's probably in a Can-Am, you're more leaned back, and so headroom is not like an issue where this is more upright. So because I cut off that little bit of headroom, it has actually made a difference in the interior space. So anyways, pretty stoked. A couple things. So I was able to lower it. I took out the, to lower it, you basically have to take out your slider, which isn't a big deal because I've got it where I want it. These PRPs, they do come with like the pull tie to get the seat out, which is sweet because I've got it like tucked in there, like about as tight as I can get it. It's basically touching on the sides and almost touching on the back of the rig. So it's about, I could do even more custom and try to get it lower, but the problem is the lower I go, then I'm having fitment problems on the sides because of the width. So I'm gonna try it here. I'll do some I'll pre-run before we go to Baja and see how it fits, but I'm stoked on it. They're comfortable, they're beautiful. But yeah, a couple things. So this one is probably about 1 inch lower, but I wanted to show a couple of things. One thing is, not only did it fix the part of being lower, but the stock Rzr, it still has a plastic base, but because the way I did it, it's gotten a lot tighter. So You know, that's your stock base with the slider. I take the slider out, it's like way better. So I've got a way more rigid mounted seat. I could do some bases maybe later, but I'm gonna see how these work. I'll pull these off and kind of show you guys what I did, but I don't know, what do you guys think? Dope seats. Let me pull them off and show you the bottoms, and then we'll wrap up this video. All right. All right, guys, so I pulled the two seats off. I just wanted to show you kind of the differences. Here is the passenger seat. So it still has the slider piece in it. So this bar kind of here. And it was too wobbly. I don't really need a slider. The slider can be nice, but I don't really need it. It was too wobbly, and it was also just too high. Getting that extra inch out of there is a huge difference for me. So anyways, this one has that bracket. That one's just kind of more solid mounted. So yeah, so this one you can just, you know, if you're not as big as me and you want the slider, it's super easy. It takes 2 seconds. You basically just pull some of the hardware off your old seat. It's like 8 bolts, and then just rebolt it on the new seat and you're done. All right, here is the stock seat base. I took out the slider, but even with the slider out, I could only get the bolt to get the seat back this far. So I wanted to get that extra inch of length and put it all the way back towards the cab. So I actually drilled a hole at the top here that got it right, like way snug to the back of the cab. So because this slider didn't go far enough, this one went far enough, but this slider did not. The screw was bottoming out right here. So anyways, that's what I decided to do. And then I hooked up their little pull tab so you can actually get the seat out. Because if you don't have a slider and you don't have a pull tab, which is nice about the PRP seats, having that tab. But yeah, so that it was able to get it all the way back, and now it's super tight. So I'm really stoked on them. You guys know they look nice, high quality, lightweight suspension seats. It's gonna be freaking awesome. I can't wait to get out and ride. So there you go, there's the PRP GTSE suspension seats, and I can't wait to get them in the Rzr and actually get out and rally. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that video. The build is coming along. Got a ton to do. I've got, 10 days left to get this thing done. I got tons of wiring and tons of parts to put on, but I'm so pumped, man. Baja is going to be epic. Okay, guys, thanks. Please like and subscribe. See ya.